We'll be cheering later.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sully Squad. We got a lot to get into tonight. We got a red hot baseball team out there. Another series win, taking 4 out of 5 from the Nationals. So we're going to do a lot of Phillies talk. We got Sixers draft coming up on Thursday. Not necessarily excited about who they're going to pick, but a lot of rumors about some moves. So let's hope our man Daryl Morey can sit here and get down to business. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, we got NHL Finals going on, and also NBA Finals just ended. And thank God the Celtics didn't win, because that would have made me physically ill. So, so we're going to get into it here. I got the usual panel here. I got my man Europol on the top right. What's up, dog? How you doing?
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
I got Mr. 6 for 6, Diego. I like your background, dude. I like the jerseys in the background. That looks good. I got my man Diego on the bottom. What's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm doing good. You know what? We got a baseball team in this town for like the first time in God, like forever. I mean, and the way they're winning games. I mean, obviously the bullpen's a concern. I don't want to pour cold water on it, but the bullpen's a concern. But the way this team's fighting and battling and scratching, clawing out wins. Paul, what was your perspective on this weekend? I mean, versus the Nats. What was your perspective about how they battled and took 4 out of 5?
Well, I mean, they did what they're supposed to, right? They're supposed to beat the bad teams. With everyone else playing well, the Braves and the Mets keep on winning. They won again today. The Mets 6-0 over Florida or Miami. So we didn't gain much ground there. We did in the wild card standings. But, we did what we had to do. Now, after the series with the Rangers are middling, they're with the 31-38, something like that. They're middling in the 2-game series. We should beat them. But then after that, we got the Padres again, and then we got the Braves. So, we got to see what we do against those. I mean, I'm glad that we did what we should, but we need to see if we can keep momentum against these tougher teams and the bottom barrel teams.
Yeah, and like you said, with the Rangers coming up, because in about 8 minutes or so, we're going to have a special guest, Nate Miller, on. He covers the Rangers out there in Texas, so he can give us a really good perspective on the Rangers. Because I got to be honest with you, I don't know much about the Rangers anymore. I see they're 31-35, and they've been playing a little bit better ball. But we'll get his perspective on our opponent here. But Diego, what was your thoughts about the weekend?
Great weekend. Good. They're finally playing some baseball. Guys, we need a closer.
Yeah.
I think at some point in this season, we have to find a legit closer if you want to solidify that bullpen and have a chance to make a run. You know what I mean?
I don't know why they wouldn't put Sir Anthony in there now. I think he's our best option. I know they need him for the other innings, but he seems to be our best option there.
He's definitely their best option, but I still don't even feel like neither manager has trusted him to be the closer, and I feel like there's a reason for it. So we need to solidify that spot. That way, everybody can like Sir Anthony can set up, Hand can pitch the seventh. Like everything will work itself out if you have that closer that every night can go out there and close you out the game.
I trust him more. I trust Sir Anthony more than freaking Knable.
Oh, me too.
At this point, yeah,
a lot more, but.
What's with the Phillies always getting up these washed-ass up arms coming in here, man? Like, it seems like we always pick up these guys and then they just shit the bed, like, with us.
Yeah. So, I mean, hey, exactly what I thought was going to happen with the Phillies actually happened. As soon as it started getting hot out consistently every day, hitting season came around, Phillies started to win games. They won 15 out of the last 17 or 15 out of the last 18. So, I figured. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say here's a concern about yesterday, because obviously we took 4 out of 5 from the Nationals, but Zach Eflin had a tough outing yesterday. So our man Sean Kilrain says here, he says, "What's up, guys? I'm curious to see where we go with Zach's knee. There's nothing structurally wrong with anything in my knee," he said. "It's more like a bruise or impingement kind under my patella tendon, which is great news. But where do they go moving forward?" I mean, hey, that's always a concern anytime a pitcher has knee problems, because a lot of pitching, it comes, is depending on your legs,
He said he'll be out. He said he'll be out there his next start.
Right. No, I understand
Yeah,
that.
he's day to day. Yeah, he's day to day. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but you worry about the wear and tear if it's gonna, sometimes when you hurt your knee, you wind up hurting your shoulder or your arm. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You start compensating.
Yeah, we got Pat Bernard from the Gobbler. Check him out on Sundays at 9:00. He says, "What's up, homies? What's up, man? How you doing?"
What's up, Pat?
My man Mike Loro. He says, "What's up?" He's on the Gobbler show at Sunday mornings at 9:00, and you can also you can also catch him on his show on the Out of the Box Network on Thursdays at 8. That's a banging show. It's called The Locker Room. And here's our boy Chris Rapizzi. He says, "What jersey am I rocking?" Actually, it's a Dr. J, Joel. It's a Dr.
Let's go.
For the because we're gonna get, obviously we're doing Phillies now, but we're gonna get a lot of Sixers talk a little later because the rumors are flying like crazy. You know what I mean? Daryl Morey's got to do something to make it happen, dude.
We got to shake something up.
Yeah, but but getting back to the Phillies, like I said, it was a great weekend, and I mean, what if they won about 14 out of 17 or something like that?
I thought it was like 15 out of 7. Or 15,
yeah, they only lost 2. I think it was 15 out of 17. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, they're playing some really good ball.
Yeah, they're 2.5 games out of the wild card, but the Braves keep stinking winning. You know what I mean? They keep winning. The Mets keep winning. So we have to continue to play at this pace from here.
Well, they're coming up too. They're coming up after the Padres series. We play the Braves.
Gotcha.
By the way, speaking of the Padres, did you guys see what happened to Machado yesterday?
Yeah, Machado's out for a while now. Yeah, like 6
weeks. What happened to him?
Oh, he was running the first base. It looked gruesome. He was running the first base, and he what do you call it? He twisted his ankle or something really bad on the base.
They say it's not fractured. It's just he's going to miss like 6 weeks or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a shame too, because he was having a hell of a year. Just as a pure baseball fan, I hate to see great players getting hurt.
And they're also missing Tatis too, so maybe we can cash in them.
Yeah, it could be the time to catch them. Chris Rapizzi, let me ask you a question: AI in his prime or LeBron? I love AI, but I got to go LeBron. I'm sorry, I got to go LeBron there.
I mean, if as a Sixer fan, Iris is my favorite player of all time. So if I was like on the playground, I'm picking AI because that's who I like. But talent wise, you should pick LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, if I got to keep it real, I love Iverson, but if my general manager took AI ahead of LeBron, I'd want him fired immediately.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Just keep it at 100. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do 100%. That. But Paul Spencer from the Out of the Box Network, he's got an interesting point here. He says the Braves next series are tough. The Phillies can make up some ground, and then we got the Gobbler goes. You gotta test it on the road. Texans, I think he means Texas is second in the West. I think they're third actually, but we'll verify with Nate. Padres second in NL West, so that's going to be tough right there. And then we got Sean Kilrain here. I like the minor trade we did to add some depth. They acquired utility man Daniel
Robertson.
Daniel Robertson from the Twins. Yeah, I'll add you on.
They said he has MLB experience, so that could be good.
Yeah, let me add Nate here. You know what? Let's bring on Nate right now because we're having some technical things. Let's see if we can add Nate here because we're going to get into this the next series preview versus the Rangers. So let's add. Hey Nate, how you doing, man? We got Nate Miller on. He covers the Rangers. How are you?
Good.
Hello?
Good. How are you?
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Sorry. I thought I had a little technical thing. So,
how are you? Yeah,
good.
I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, good. So listen, obviously here, we got Paul and Diego and myself. I'm Joe. And, wanted to get into some Rangers talk here. Oh. Let's see. He's having, it looks like we're having a little technical problems. All right. Well, anyway, looks like we're having a little technical issues, but Well, we'll start it off here. So, what's your guys' thoughts with the series versus the Rangers here?
Well, tomorrow it starts, and we're going up against, I guess, their best pitcher in this guy, Martin Perez. He only gave up 2 home runs in 81 innings. He has a good ERA, so that could be tough if he shuts us down. But we should win the series. I mean, it's only 2 games. We could sweep, I would say. Next one, I think Wheeler's going, I guess, against some guy who has a 5 ERA. So, I think, at least split, but hopefully we can get to the guy who's pitching tomorrow.
Yeah, they got they got them first 2 on us, so I think we get these next 2 on them.
Yeah.
They got us on the 2 games earlier in the year, so the Rangers aren't good.
No, I mean, they got some good. I mean, the leading home run hitter has like 16 home runs, but only batting .230.
Yeah, they're not that good.
So he's
they're 31 and 30, 31 and 35, third in their division. They're not that good of a team.
Yeah, they're middling. Yeah.
Well, they've been playing better. Like they started off. Right, they started off kind of bad, but they've been playing a lot better. I know. What's his face? Like just looking at their stats here. I know they went out and signed Corey Seager. So he's a guy
that has 16 home runs. Only batting .230 though.
Yeah, that's not bad for nowadays. That sounds about average.
Yeah, that's like Schwarber type shit.
230, 16 homers. Give him $400 million. You know what I mean?
Okay, we got Nate back. Let's try this again. How are you, Nate?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Hello.
So we're trying to get a little perspective on the Rangers here because obviously we don't see the Rangers a lot. So how have the Rangers been playing? From what I see from far away, it looks like they started off kind of bad, but they've been playing a lot better ball lately.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. There's still a few games under 500, but we thought they would be a lot further from the race by now. So despite all the signings, Seager, Semien, Gray, and it's been really fun to watch and just really fun to see these guys turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as a Phillies fan, like who should we be most afraid of? I'm assuming, I'm just looking at the stats here. I mean, I'm assuming it would be, Seager has 15 homers. You got this guy Garcia has 40 runs, and then the guy Nathaniel Love's hitting 274. So I guess they're like 3 of their best players, you believe? For some reason, you know what? It's not. There's something wrong with the connection here. So if he can come back on, if not, let's just move on here. So anyway, what's your guys? So what do you guys think? I think we should take 2 out of 3 from them.
Is it a 3-game series?
No, 2.
2-game series.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and then we're off to a 4-game with the Padres.
We win both.
We should. I think we should take both from them.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus, they're a Texas team, and they're in the same city as the Cowboys, so we got to beat them. Speaking of the Cowboys, we got a Cowboys fan here, our man Dave Yarnell from Edge of Philly Sports. What's up, Patterson Avenue Fanatics? What's up, Dave? How you doing, man?
What's up, Dave?
Hey, Dave.
And Devereaux Sports here. Devereaux Sports has a comment here. He goes, "How's our guy Brad Miller?" I think Brad Miller has like 7 homers, 25 RBIs, something like that.
Yeah, we should have kept him as a utility guy.
Yeah, he had a pretty.
Yeah, I'm sure he got money thrown at him. That's probably why.
Dude,
yeah, he had a pretty good year last year.
No, he had a good year for us last year.
Someone had to do. He had a good year last year because he was put in them situations every single time. So of course he made something happen. But that dude stinks.
So anyway,
we're batting Bamboo Brad at our 4th spot in some games last year.
That's a problem.
Yeah, well, we have some injuries now that we could use him right now. Like Segura is out.
It'd be nice to have him on certain occasions, but like Ain't nothing crazy. I don't miss.
The guy we signed, the guy we signed is he's a career 2.27 career hitter. That Robertson guy. So, I mean, I guess for his defense, he's definitely not for hitting.
Yeah, it's for depth. That sign is all about depth. He has MLB experience. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you have anytime you have MLB experience, you bat 207. That's serviceable for a game here and there.
Yeah, that's what Sean says here. He says he's played second, short, and third, both outfield corners and a little first base. The bulk of his time has come at second base. So,
it doesn't do anything for me. So,
Harper status is up in the air with the infected blister for Tuesday versus the Rangers. So, that's I'm not going to get overly concerned about that yet because I'd rather Harper miss a few games now than try to play with it and get infected or something. So, let him chill for a couple days. I mean, hopefully you should be able to beat the Rangers without Harper. Let's see right here, Pat Bernard. He must be talking about Bamboo Brad here. He was a big help with Harper. He did put up a hat trick in the game last year. See, one thing about Brad Bamboo Brad is he was good in the clubhouse. Oh, and then Dave Yarnell. Yeah, that's true. The Rangers beat us twice here.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why we beat them. We beat them in the next two.
Yeah, I think we do. So, all right. So anyway, let's because I want to get into some Sixers talk here. But so we got the Rangers for 2, and we got the Padres for 4. So realistically, the next 6, what are we realistically hoping for here?
I'm looking at 4 and 2.
4 and 2. Okay, Paul. What is that? What you're thinking?
Well, I'm hoping for 6-0, but the way I see it in the pitching matchup and stuff, I could see us getting out of here 3-3.
Yeah, well, you always hope for Kate Upton too, but you're not Justin Verlander. You know what I'm saying? You got to be realistic here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, good thing we're going for that. So we tomorrow, next 2 games, we have our best pitchers going. We got Gibson and we got Wheeler.
Let's see. So our man Paul Spencer, he lives out there in Johnstown, PA. He's not far from Pittsburgh. He says he'll be in Philly the 28th and 29th, so 7:31 road trip to Pittsburgh. Grill bar open at the crib. Yeah, that sounds like a real possibility, Paul. I like the thoughts of that. I've never been to that stadium out there.
No, me either. I heard it was nice though. It's on the river there.
Yeah, I heard it's like phenomenal. Everybody says it's like one of the nicest stadiums out there.
Yeah.
Let's see. We talked about Manny Machado earlier. I think you guys said this. His X-rays were negative.
Yeah, he's out like 6 weeks. Yeah.
And then Paul Spencer, the Pittsburgh Stadium's beautiful. So
yeah.
All right, so you guys are hoping for 4 and 2, and calling for 4. I'm going to say 4 and 2 myself.
Well, I'm hoping, like Paul said, we're hoping for 6 and 0.
Yeah, exactly. I
think we're looking at 4 and 2. You know what I mean? Hoping 6 and 0.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a lot of things. You know what I mean? But
Well, in that case, I hope we go. Whatever it is, 90-0 the next rest of the season too. So
yeah, it's like I said a few weeks back when we used to go to Out of Whack Jacks. You know what I mean? Like you go there and you see, and I always say you see the girl that's the 2 at 10, and then next thing you know, she's a 10 at 2. You know?
Yeah.
And then at night you turn the lights on and you're like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, hey, you know what? Sometimes you don't notice till the next day. All right, Dave Yarnell says he'll say 3 and 3. So, all right,
that's what
listen.
I said. 3. I'm the pitching matchups. I'm going to say 3 and 3 too.
Yeah,
because you got Yarwish is going for them, San Diego. So right. I mean, and then the guy tomorrow is having to give up 2 home runs in 81 innings. So I'm saying 3 and 3.
Yeah, well, I want to get into some Sixers draft talk, but real quick before we get that, there was another big piece of news this past week. I know we kind of forget that we have a hockey team in this town. I'm going to be reminded of it tonight when I watch the Stanley Cup Finals, and I feel like I'm watching a totally different sport than what I see in Philadelphia here. But What was your thoughts on the Tortorella hiring? Myself personally, I think for the next year or two, I think it's a great move because I think he's one of those guys that comes in, really shakes some things up and gets up people's asses and gets some guys to play. So I think in the next year or two, I think you're going to see a drastic improvement in the style of play the Flyers have, but he's got a short shelf life. In 2 years' time, he's probably out of here. Paul, I'll ask you, Paul, first. What's your thoughts on Tortorella?
Yeah, the guy Adam posted a video, all his highlights of Tortorella, and I was watching it, and I can't help but laugh at some of the stuff. His press conferences and how he treats players and stuff. If anything, his press conferences are going to be much watched TV, I think. But yeah, like you said, he's a hard ass. He's tough. He's not afraid to bench anybody who's not playing well. He's done that with the Rangers players. He's really good at, he wants to make this a harder team to play against. I think, like you said, in the short term, I think it's going to be good. See who wants to play and who doesn't. But long term, I don't know.
I got you. Diego, what do you think, bro?
I think it's stupid.
Okay.
I think Tortorella's stupid. Yeah, he might come in here and Tortorella to me is a coach that you bring in when your team only needs a fire lit under their ass, but they have all the talent to win. You know what I mean? And he lights their fire under the ass to make that Stanley Cup run for 1 or 2 years. We're nowhere near winning. He's not a developmental coach. You know what I mean? Like he's like an old guy who coaches veterans and wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, in my opinion,
that's all that was available, though.
It doesn't matter. In my opinion, it's still terrible. And you need to bring someone in here young, fresh, that's gonna bring a different mentality to this Flyers game and develop young talent. I'm sick and tired. It was between two coaches that've been in the league for 40 years. Come on, dude.
That's all that's really was available, though. That person that you're looking for is probably not available at this second.
Well, I think one of the problems.
He's always available. That's my point. He's available, like Joe just said. He's available every 2 years. So is Torch. All these guys are available every 2 years. So why not?
Hey, listen, we try to bring in a young, fresh coach in Hackstall, and look at how that shit turned out. So,
I'll tell you a guy that I was kind of.
That's my point. Chuck Fletcher doesn't know what he's doing. He's a terrible general manager. He looked great before last year, and then going into this year, he looks terrible. So, hockey's a funny sport. You got to be on point. The Flyers aren't.
Well, you know what? I'm going to give him to this year. The draft's coming up, whatever the draft, and free agency.
I'm not saying Tortorella can't be a good coach.
So I'm going to see what I'm giving Fletcher a pass until this year.
Like Tortorella can come in, he'll take the Flyers to the playoffs, first round exit, maybe second round exit, do it again the next year. Then we got to switch coaches, right? What good is that? Blow it up, get rid of everyone that you can get anything for in return, get every draft pick, everything you possibly can in return, bring a young coach in, develop a young team, see you in 2-3 years.
Yeah, we got a question here. Dave Arnold, he says, do you guys think he would bring in Tocchet as an assistant? I'm not seeing that because I feel like Tocchet would be more of a head guy.
Why don't you bring in Rick Tocchet?
Well, you got to bring in the muckers and grinders and the old Flyer style, For the room, right?
Tocchet was available. He was a Flyer before. He's younger. Why not bring him in? Maybe he'll at least add some grit and grind it. I don't know. It's just Tortorella.
Why hear you? I mean, I was kind of intrigued by the guy by the name of Jim Montgomery, because he was a former Flyer. Supposedly, he battled an alcohol problem, but he's recovered from that. He's been an assistant. I think he was an assistant under Craig Berube, I believe, or somewhere. And a guy that's been an assistant, that's been hungry, to me is the kind of guy I wouldn't mind bringing in because maybe you can grow with somebody like that.
That's what I mean. That's what I wanted to say. I mean, like I said, we can make the playoffs. Tortorella can he can come in and light a fire under Konechny's ass, Hayes' ass, and get these guys playing. But to me, even if you got all them guys playing at the top of their game, they're not competing with either of them last 4 teams we see in the Stanley Cup Finals.
No, I hear you. And Pat Bernard, he touched on this on his show yesterday. He says we're supposed to have with AV. I'm tired of the retreads. Barry Trotz didn't want to come here with a lot of the money on the table, and he still didn't want to come here. That should tell us something. It's the front office. I agree. Well, this is not a marketable job. It used to be.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But like you said, like Trotz wants everywhere Trotz went, he had players that are ready to play, ready to win. Like Diego touched on. He didn't want to come here. Maybe he's part of the front office, but we're not ready to win. He's up there. He's been around forever. So, that's probably another big reason why he wanted to come here.
Yeah, I found out. Well, maybe if Carter Hart can actually turn into like what we thought he would be, then we're going to be in every game. But our defense sucks. Provoral's like a number 2 at best. We thought he was like the future of our team.
Well, that's one thing that Tortorella will improve. He'll improve the effort level. He'll improve his teams. His teams always historically have blocked a lot of shots. I mean, I remember back, if you guys remember back in 2014 when the Rangers made the Stanley Cup Finals run. I mean, when we played them, it was such a pain in the ass because every time we tried to shoot the puck, they had dudes like getting down, and they had dudes like getting down and sitting there and like blocking the shot.
Yep. Yeah, he gets guys to play hard. I get that. I just think our talent pool isn't high enough.
I hear you. Let's see. Pat says, I'd rather work for Josh Harris up in New Jersey than Chuck Fletcher. Well, I mean, Chuck Fletcher's the GM.
Yeah, Chuck Fletcher's the GM. Harris is the owner, ain't he?
Yeah, let's see right here. Davey Arnold. Yeah, real quick, because I want to get on to the Sixers, but real quick. What do you guys think of the Stanley Cup Finals game tonight? Davey Arnold's picking Tampa to win Game 3. I think Tampa wins Game 3 tonight, but I like the Avs in the series now. The Avs are out there looking like the '80s Oilers, man. They're all over the place.
Their offense is so high powered, man. Like, yeah, look what they're doing to the Tampa Bay goalie, letting them up. So, they're on fire. Yeah, was it back in Tampa Bay tonight, the Game 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see them stealing Game 3 tonight, but I think this is Cavs Cup to lose right now.
I gotta take the act inside because I didn't realize my battery's running low on my laptop, so I gotta go charge my laptop. But
what do you think, Diego? Do you think guys take this?
My prediction to start this series was Tampa 6. My prediction after watching them first 2 games is Avs in 5. So I think Avs win again tonight, and then they get like a gentleman's sweep. Tampa takes Game 4. They go back to Colorado and close it out. So I got the Avs tonight.
Yeah.
Plus 1.5 goals. If I was going to throw a bet at it, that's what I would take for tonight's game.
I mean, it's Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, the Flyers got swept by the Red Wings 4-0, but I think Tampa Bay steals tonight.
Avs minus 1.5 on the road. That's the bet I would take if I was going to take a bet on hockey tonight. It's probably nice odds.
Yeah, here's Sean Kilrain with an interesting point. He says people wanted this guy. The Dallas Stars are naming Peter DeBoer their next head coach.
See, I don't know enough about hockey to know what. I don't know enough about hockey to know what a good coach is, but I do know who Tortorella is and all these other coaches, and they're always just the same names I've been hearing since I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, if they would have hired Peter DeBoer or whatever his name is, I don't know who he is, I would have been more happy with that.
Yeah, he was just fired by the Vegas Golden Knights, so he must have done a decent job because Vegas has been pretty good the last few years.
Okay, now that you say he was fired by the Golden Knights, I feel like I know I got his face now. I would take that dude. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I don't know who he is, so I will take that dude. It's hockey. I know nothing about hockey. So, don't give me the same name I've been listening to here since I was 6. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got John Tortorella. Cool. He coached Ryan Clark. You know what I'm saying? The guy who played like 40 years ago. You know, bring that guy on. Come on.
That's great. Oh, Pat goes back. All right, Pat goes back to the game tonight. Avs are good with all four lines. Then again, John Cooper probably used game 2 as a decoy. I don't understand what he's talking about. Pat's one of those guys. He puts so much. I think some people put too much in the hockey.
Is Pat saying right now that the Tampa Bay coach lost on purpose so he could go back home and be like, we quit in the first 2 games. Oh, surprise! We're here game 3. We're here game 3 to win the Stanley Cup now. Come on, dude. What?
Yeah, well, you know what? I gotta keep it real. I love hockey too. I love all 4 sports, but like I've had enough of hockey. So let's move on. Because that's enough hockey talk for me. Because until the Flyers become relevant, I mean, hockey's like a distant 4th. Christ, it's almost like 5th right now to me.
See, it's been a really good playoff, John. I'll give it that. The whole entire playoff, every round has been, even though it's not my favorite sport, it's the most competitive sport. Like when you watch a game, the talent is like almost equal in playoff games. I mean, right across the ice.
Except for the last game, it was 7-0.
Yeah, besides last, that's what I mean. I feel like the Tampa Bay's run's just over. It's just the steam's gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I think hockey in general, like you're right, these playoffs have been great. I mean, I've been enjoying watching the playoffs. I guess from a Flyers fan perspective, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, we are so far away. That's all I mean. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. And the thing is, when the Flyers are good, I love watching the Flyers, but it's hard to watch bad hockey. Like it is hard to watch bad. Like it's hard to watch bad baseball. Eagles can be 3-13, and I can still watch the Eagles every single week and see bright spots and blah blah blah. Same with the Sixers. I can't do it with baseball and hockey. Like if they're bad, it's brutal to watch.
Yeah, well, football's different. Most of us play fantasy football too, so.
Yeah, but I'll even watch this. I'll even watch a 3-13 Eagles team and be like, oh, dude, that player's gonna be really good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at this offensive line block. Like, I'm still interested in the team and like still intrigued, even though they're 3-13. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I mean like that. But
I got you. Well, you know what? Let's get into a team that is relevant because there's a big event coming up this Thursday, and that's the NBA draft. So
honestly, let's hope we don't draft anybody. Because there's no Tyrese Maxey in this draft. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like at 23 you're getting a guy who's going to come in his rookie year and actually play. So we should be looking definitely to get rid of that pick.
Well, I like that rumor. I mean, I don't know how legit it is, but I like that rumor we saw. What was it? Thibault and Green in the 23rd pick for like Lucas Dort or something like that.
I would be all for that. He's just as good in defense as Thibault. He's way better on offense, and he can play like a small 3 or 2.
This mock draft I'm looking at, we're drafting we're tied to this guy Walker Kessler out of Auburn.
Walker Kessler?
Yeah, he's 7'1", 245 out of Auburn, averaged 11.4 points per game, 8.1 rebounds per game, 4.6 blocks per game. He led the country in blocks.
Player right there. That's just a G League player because you just got Bassey last year. Yeah. So Bassey's going to be a year ahead of this kid. So
I'm hoping he traded too, by the way. To let you know.
I just think 23 is going to be gone by the time that comes, even if it's for like a minimal role player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping they can somehow do. Diego, what we saw possibly like Luke Kennard could possibly be available. Now he can really fire. That he doesn't help the defense much, but he can fire.
See, one thing with this team, with this Sixers team, we have no balance. Like we just have I feel like this team's just a bunch of guys. You know what I mean? Like, there's no formula. There's no nothing. Like we're missing so many different kinds of players. We're looking for a long, lengthy 3 who can shoot the 3 and play defense. But then Luke Kennard could also help us a lot, but he's not a 3. You know what I mean? Like there's so many little holes.
Yeah, Sean Kilrain they have us getting Blake Wesley from Notre Dame. Well,
that's what I've seen, and
I've seen the kid. What is it, Lindell or the kid from Ohio State? I've seen they compare him to like a Grant Williams type guy from Boston.
Blake Wesley's tied to Minnesota Timberwolves apparently.
Honestly, if that like I said, there's no like Tyrese Maxey. Like when I that year we took Maxey, I kept seeing in the mock drafts we're going to get Tyrese Maxey, and I'm like, if that's the case, we're getting a real player. Then last year when we got Jaden Springer, all the players that we were mocked to get, I was like, yeah, they're not NBA caliber. And all the guys I've seen us mocked to get so far that I've seen play, they're not NBA ready caliber players. So if there's like maybe like a 3-year junior or a 4-year senior out there that's like been consistent in his career, has knocked down 35, 38% at three and is playing good defense, I would rather have a player like that than who's supposed to go at 23. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, out of the box sports right here. They have late first Wendell Moore, small forward from Duke. But again, though, I'm hoping they find a way to get a established player. You know.
Yeah. I heard today that the Morey's doing all he can to get Beal here, and Beal wants to come here. So.
You know the problem? Doc Rivers hates playing young guys. So we take another guy at 23, ain't gonna play him.
Yeah. Well, you got Keno checking in. He said Pittsburgh sucks. I don't know what that's a reference to, but okay, gotcha.
I agree.
Penguins, Pirates, Steelers, who? Who is it?
Yeah.
All of them, you know what I mean? What is he referencing? I don't know, but I agree. You know,
Pittsburgh Panthers. Like, who are you talking
trash.
about?
Pittsburgh Steelers, trash. You know what I'm saying? I agree.
Panthers, trash.
I'm with
Trash.
you. Trash.
That's great. That was just so funny. I needed that comic relief. It's like we're talking basketball. He just comes in Pittsburgh sucks. Oh, now here.
That's hilarious. That's the best comment probably ever.
I know. Now, here's one that I want here. Miami Heat forward PJ Tucker will decline a $7.4 million option for the 2022-23 season and enter free agency. Now, he would be a major because he's got a pair of balls on him, and that's what they need. They need somebody. Sixers need somebody that's tough that actually has a set. So he would help us. Plus, he can hit a corner three.
Oh, man, I would love a player like OG. If there was a way we could get OG, he's like the perfect player, I feel like, for the Sixers. He feels like a huge void. He gives us athleticism, defense, and three-point shooting all in one player.
Yeah, I agree. He would be the perfect fit. And the other thing is, too, like, you figure if look at it like this, right? Because you know how, like, the NBA is a lot about matchups. Well, we need somebody like to guard. We need somebody to guard like a Jaylen Brown and a Tatum, and and nobody could guard the Greek Freaks. So let's keep it real. But you need somebody to guard like a Middleton. I mean, you're not going to get out of the East if you don't have somebody that has a little athleticism to play some defense. Well, and the Sixers don't have that player.
Honestly, the reason I said OG is because he reminds me the most to Jaylen Brown than any player, because we're not going to get Jaylen Brown, and OG's not Jaylen Brown, but he's that type of player that when if we have to go against Boston for the next 3 years, you know what I mean, or Milwaukee, OG can take the Middletons and the Jaylen Browns and the Jason Tatum, you know what I mean, at least competitively, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he could play like our Wiggins role. I mean, look at the finals. I mean, Andrew Wiggins was huge. I mean,
he's a free agent though, isn't he? But I think he wants to sign back with Golden State.
We can say we want Bradley Beal. We can say we want Donovan Mitchell. This league is headed more towards back the way it was. You have to win with a team. 2 stars, I don't see it getting it done anymore. Like that Kyrie KD experience, that's going to be tough to win because the talent pool is evening out so much. Like if everyone in the league can hit a 3, then who cares if you got 2 stars? If I got 5 shooters, we're outscoring you.
Yeah, that's true. And the other problem is too, like again, like I would love Bradley Beal too, but if you're going to keep Maxey, because they say that Maxey's a corner point, how are you going to play at late in games? You're going to have what? Like you're going to have Harden trying to guard Jaylen Brown or Tatum, and you're going to have Maxey and Beal on the court. I mean, you're going to be really small.
Right. 100%.
I don't know how that works.
Now, like I said, I would trade for Donovan Mitchell. Don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
he's not a good defensive player either. You know, you watch him play this playoffs. He got cooked every single time down the court where he makes up for it on the offensive side. You know what I'm saying? But either of these guys come in, we're gonna. I feel like we're gonna be so depleted everywhere else that other teams are just gonna beat us with depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we gotta find a way to load up the bench this year.
And watching the finals, I feel like no one on either team has anything for Embiid, right? And if you watch how Golden State won, is because no one on any team had anything for Steph Curry. You know, and then because someone's attention goes to Steph Curry, it frees all the role players up around them to do their role. I feel like if you ever want to win with Joel Embiid, it's got to be pairing him with the best team, not the best player.
I agree with you. I mean, I guess the only thing I would say though is I agree with everything you said, but I also feel like if you have a chance to get a guy with Bradley Beal's talent, you know, and keep Harden, Maxey, and Embiid, I think you got to do it.
I think you have to do it, absolutely. But you're gonna run into a problem when you got to play a Boston or a Milwaukee because you are gonna get demolished on defense. Demolished. We're gonna have all right. Honestly, Harden, Maxey, Beal, Embiid, and whoever else is on the court is the worst defensive team in the league.
By far.
That's
not even a comparison.
Team in the league. That's hard. It's going to be hard to compensate that much offense, and especially if we're getting the James Harden we've seen this year.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Paul Spencer from Out of Box Network, and he's got a question here. He says, "What about late Nikola Jovic, 6'11" forward center at 19? He's a 15.55 guy from Serbia, and Embiid might punch him. But I mean, hey, I like taking them. I mean, just look at Jokic. I mean, you know, you can't really go wrong sometimes with taking these big, tall Serbian dudes, you know, that can shoot. I mean, so I take a chance on it, but I'd rather get an established player because whoever we get is going to be a project, and I want to win now.
That's like Nikola Jokic's fucking clone. Nikola, what? Come on.
Yo, it's almost like they call Jokic and they're like, "Yo, what do you think of this young guy? He like me. He like shoots ball, pass ball. You know,
Nikola Jovic.
Yeah, he have cement foot, but he shoots ball. You know.
Yeah. I mean, there's only one Jokic. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That probably won't hit. I know.
Oh, Keno meant to say Pittsburgh Penguins suck. Okay, we got you.
Same thing. Pittsburgh Penguins.
We just took it. The whole city of Pittsburgh sucks.
I said I don't know what he means, but I agree.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh man.
So but you know what though? I mean, hey. You know, if you go out there and get like a PJ Tucker, you know, you got guys like Gary Harris out there.
How can we free up the most money?
Get rid of Tobias Harris.
Get rid of Tobias Harris. Get rid of Danny Green. What else can we do to free up some cash?
Get rid of five. Well, get rid of. I mean, who the hell wants Korkmaz? But if you could find a way to get rid of Korkmaz and Thibault, that would free up another $9 million.
What did he sign? He signed a 1-year deal.
Honestly, if there was a way that he could
free up, under contract.
If there was a way he could free up as much money as possible, right? Just be left with Harden, Maxey, and Embiid, and somehow rebuild like an athletic team just to match up with these other teams. Them three guys being the corner piece of any team. If they got the right role players and depth around them, is going to compete for a championship. That would be my mentality as Daryl Morey. How can I get rid of every player but them three guys and build a real team?
Yeah, but it's easier said than done, though.
I know. That's why I'm just asking. What's the way we can clear up the most money? Tobias Harris. So that should be the key point, in my opinion. If you feel like we need more depth, which is what I feel like, because I feel like a player like OG, who maybe makes half the money as Tobias, gives you the same, if not more, than Tobias Harris.
Well, The move would be if you could somehow get OG without giving up Maxey, but which I don't know how you did. I don't see it happening. But just say
Me neither. I'm just taking hypothetically, right?
No. What I'm saying is some type of three-way deal where you give up Tobias and a pick or something, and then you get OG here, and then you sign PJ Tucker. Then all of a sudden your starting lineup is OG, Bede, Tucker, Maxey, Harden. That would win.
That could win, yeah, right.
That could win. Then maybe if you freed up enough money, you get a guy like maybe like a Gary Harris coming off the bench.
Yep.
You know, depth type guy. You know, if you could find a way to move Danny Green and something, and maybe I know he's got a horrible contract, but maybe if you move Danny Green and something, and you took on like a Duncan Robinson's horrible contract, and you had him come in and fire 15, 20 minutes a night, just fire threes. You know, like them type of moves. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you have to fill this team. Like how like Miami's constructed, Boston's constructed, Golden State's constructed, Milwaukee's constructed. All these teams are built, I feel like, with the same kind of formula. You know what I mean? A lot of shooters, some rebounders, and their star guys. You know what I'm saying? As the key points. I feel like we're just built so top heavy. Like the level, the talent level from our 5 guy to our 9 guys, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem when you're in the playoffs and you got to bring in like a Furkan Korkmaz or some of these scrubs they got to bring in. I mean, it's just terrible, you know.
Right. Yeah, he had to compensate and play Furkan Korkmaz.
That's just not going to work. You know what I'm saying?
I get people want to blame Doc Rivers, but that's why it's hard for me to be like, oh, fire Doc, move on from Doc. He had to play Furkan Korkmaz in a playoff game because Niang and Dybor are almost unplayable because they do something stiff. They're each so bad on one side of the ball. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he had 4 guys to work with on the bench, and none were playable. You couldn't play Furkan, you couldn't play Shake, you couldn't play Niang, you couldn't play Dybor. Because when you did, you suffered.
No, that's the problem when you got stuff like that going on, you know. Mm-hmm. So, well, somehow they need to upgrade this bench. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I feel like that's what it's all about. It's all about getting as much depth and getting the best team around Joel and being Harden as possible. You got to get Harden a bunch of shooters that he can pass the ball to when he drives and get wide open shots to, who can knock down a shot. Like Danny Green did it here and there, but some of these teams have guys that do it every single night, knocking down 2 shots, 3 shots, you know? Sometimes Danny Green goes 0 for 9.
Yeah,
I know.
And Danny Green runs so weird. We say that every week, but he runs so weird.
Imagine how he's going to run now after a torn ACL and MCL or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, the Sixers got a lot of work to get to become a champion, you know what I mean? But so we'll see what happens here, but I mean, obviously we just had an NBA Finals just wrap up. And, once again, the Golden State Warriors won the championship. And, one of the things I wanted to get into, that's 4 championships, 6 finals appearances, and 4 championships in an 8-year span. So where would you rank them?
Me, one, probably 2 behind the Bulls.
Okay.
Well, look at Steve Kerr, right? He won what now? 4 as a coach and 5 as a player or something like that.
9. Yeah, he's 9 championships.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, Bulls definitely number 1. I mean, I guess Warriors number 2.
Yeah, because if you're looking at it that way, their dynasty had KD on their team.
Yeah.
The majority of the time for 2 out of the 4. So that team with KD, they're playing with the Michael Jordan Bulls in '96. They're playing with the 80s Lakers. They're playing with the Boston Celtics and them teams. And honestly, they're a lot better shooting than them teams. They're probably the best shooting dynasty ever.
Yeah. You figure they changed the way the game's played, you know?
Right. So Yeah, they're probably 2, in my opinion.
I hear you. So,
do you think they can? Do you think they can repeat next year if they keep the same core people?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose some guys though, because I was reading. I mean, this guy's a nice player, but I was reading that what's his face, the guy Gary Payton Jr. wants to make like $15 to $20 million.
He's out of his mind, dude. It took you till you were 30 years old to even find a role in this league. You're going to ask for 15, 20 million. That's crazy. He ain't getting that.
I wouldn't do that.
He ain't that good. He's a great defender. Don't get me wrong. He's a great energy guy. He ain't knocking you down no big shots. He ain't on the floor at crunch time making 15, 20 million dollars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sean Kilrain with a great point here, because here's a guy that I don't think gets enough respect, is Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr, he had 5. I guess Steve Kerr had 5 championships as a player, and now he's got 4 championships as a coach.
Yeah, so that's what Paul just said.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah.
And then we got Keno here. Getting back to the draft, he said Sixers need to have a good combo like Shaq and Kobe Bryant type player. Well, that's like saying, I think the Sixers could win if they got like Michael Jordan, but not. Hey, I think we could win the championship if we had like MJ,
Yeah.
But Sixers to get past that first down and beyond, maybe Zion Williamson or Terry Rozier. Well, I'll tell you what, it'd be nice to see Zion Williamson actually play.
I know.
I mean, what's up with him? You know what I mean? But man. So we got a lot of things. We got a lot of. It'll be interesting time for the NBA, and I want to get one other thing. Because there's not too much in football to talk about, but the Eagles did make a nice little signing, though. What did you guys think of that safety the Eagles signed?
Tark. I like him. Yeah, he's definitely. I monitored him playing fantasy football and stuff, and I think it's a really good signing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially it's a 1-year deal. He's the only thing I didn't really like about it. He struggled in the coverage last year, but he's really good. He's good in the box safety. And then
I mean, he's a 7-year vet. So he could definitely play in this league.
2nd round pick, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he's the guy that dropped that interception in the championship game.
Yeah.
That was him. Remember that play? If he catches that ball, who knows? The Rams, 49ers might actually be in the Super Bowl.
Possibly.
So, yeah, that changed the whole complexion of that game.
Yeah, know what's good, dude? Tomorrow we're going to draft Nikolai Jovic.
Wait, what's this?
Tomorrow we're going to draft Nikolai Jovic.
Cool, let's do it. and then we'll stash him in Serbia for like 4 years.
I'll tell you what, though, the Sixers don't make any moves, then what?
Then we'll be lucky to get into the 2nd round again. They got to do something.
No, Morey's going to do something, dude.
The East is getting stronger.
Does he have to kind of make a move before the draft to move that pick to get anything significant to attach it to any player?
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to move that pick. I don't think we're drafting anybody.
That's what I mean. So, that pick's only valuable in a trade if it's before it's revealed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they got it. Like I said, they got to do something because one of these young guys. I mean, look at last year. We last year. What did we take? We took that kid Springer, and he didn't even. I mean, he's not ready to play.
He might still not be ready to play.
No, so he was no help. Now, I guess the hope is maybe this coming year, maybe Springer gets a little bit of time in the regular season. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they said they kind of compared Springer to kind of like a Kyle Lowry type body type, like Springer's. And I'm talking the old school Kyle Lowry, not Kyle Lowry that sweats out honey mustard sauce now. I'm talking about Kyle Lowry when he's in shape, Yeah,
Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know, man. It's we're in a tough spot, man. Sixers are in a tough spot. Like this is this is where you're paying Morey what, $10 million a year.
Well, this is why we have Morey, right? Morey can work his magic, see what he can do. He's going to do something. He needs to revamp his roster. He's going to do whatever he can to do it, I think.
I would have loved to have seen what a guy like Morey could have done when we had all those assets.
Right.
Because we had, you go back, you backtrack like 4 or 5 years when we had all these picks and all these assets and all this cap space. And I got to be honest, man, I really thought we were going to be in a better situation this time than we are right now.
Yeah, we're talking about we only have like 4 playable players that can actually make an impact and help us win a championship.
No.
All them picks, all them years, all that suffering, and you're telling me we have 4 players in the roster right now that can actually make an impact on a championship team?
Yeah. A lot of wasted picks, man.
That's a joke. That's a joke of an organization.
A lot of wasted picks.
Darryl Morey came in and already did a lot by unloading Horford's shitty-ass contract.
I mean, who the hell do we have scouting these fucking guys? I mean, what is it, Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles? I mean, what the hell's going on around here?
Guy.
Huh?
They should go hire that dude from Hustle, Sean Sugarman or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Sugarman. Yeah. I watched that the other night, dude. It was a really good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. They should hire him.
I'll take it one step further. Hire Adam Sandler.
Yeah, hire Adam Sandler. What? Come on, he can see more talent than what we're looking at. Jeez.
So I mean, jeez.
It's kind of a disgrace when you think about it.
Yeah, you know what?
That movie, real quick. It was good until when the dude got drafted by the Celtics.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, oh, this fucking sucks.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what though? But that's such a Sixers thing. Like I could so see the Sixers having some JO in the front office being like, no, we don't want the guy. Then he goes to Boston and torments us for like 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sean's got a point here. Sean Kilrainey goes, another kid in the draft, Christian Braun, 6'5" and a half wing, Kansas, 21 years old.
He's not bad. He's not bad,
guy. We got our man out.
Christian Braun's just another guy.
Yeah.
So watching him play at Kansas.
Yeah,
he's all right. He made a couple nice shots in college, but he just seems like another guy.
Well, he's like you said before. This is a grown man's league, and we're in grown folk business. We're about championships.
A young guy in this draft at 23 don't help us.
No.
Oh, did you guys see that? I read a rumor Sacramento is willing to give up the 4th pick for Jordan Poole.
Wow, really?
Yeah, ain't that nuts?
I see. If I was Golden State, I wouldn't do that though.
Me neither.
I'm not breaking up my championship. I'm not breaking up my championship nucleus. Now, I mean, the only way is if maybe you would consider it if there was a kid sitting there at 4, like that was like maybe like a power forward center type guy. Well, they have Wiseman coming, but I'm saying, like say there was a guy that was like 6'10" that could really fire. Maybe if you were Golden State, you would consider it because you have Klay Thompson back. But right. I wouldn't break up that nucleus, though.
I wouldn't break it up either. I wouldn't break up Jordan Poole coming off the bench, but I think he's up for a contract next year. So is Wiggins.
Yeah, Wiggins, yeah. Wiggins states he wants to go back there, so he doesn't want to be tested for agency.
To me, Andrew Wiggins is the kind of guy that takes a pay cut to stay in Golden State.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah,
because he don't do good with the pressure. Like he didn't do good being the number 1 pick on his own team, trying to carry it with Cat. They kind of choked that up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's in the perfect situation for Andrew Wiggins right now.
Well, don't you think playing with Draymond Green and Steph and Klay and being and I'll tell you, Andre Iguodala, I know he didn't get a lot of minutes, but you could see the influence that he had on that team just by him coaching up like Gary Payton Jr. and all like that. That team has championship DNA, championship pedigree, and when you're like now Andrew Wiggins wasn't a journeyman player, but when you're a guy that's maybe hasn't lived up to your potential and you go to Golden State, you got Draymond Green gassing you up. Like Draymond Green was probably telling him like, yo dog, you were the number 1 pick, man. You're the shit.
Right. But when you got Steph Curry to bail you out when you're having tough times, that's a good situation. When you go to your own team, or Andrew Wiggins, people go, oh, he's an all-star. Yeah, maybe he is a number 1 pick that we thought he was. You bring him on to his own team. Now he is facing them same pressures he was facing. Are you going to take Draymond Green with you?
No,
You're
that's
going
what
to
I'm.
have to face these times alone again. And I think that's where it gets dark and you're by yourself and you don't live up to it again.
Yeah, we got our man Al Safiri checking in. You could check him out on Edge of Philly Sports. What's up, Al? How you doing,
Hey,
man?
Alan, what's going on?
And go Keno right here, my man from high school. Keno, Adam Sandler for president. Well,
You got my vote.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't want to get political because that'll get me in trouble. But the state of things right now, you probably couldn't do any worse. Let's put it that way. You know, every time I go to the gas pump, I'm grabbing my ankles.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like if you're in prison, they tell you like don't drop the soap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, nah, man. You know, it's going to be an interesting few days. You know, we got Phillies interesting series versus Texas. 4-game set where San Diego coming up, and of course, you know, my main focus is going to be on the NBA draft and Sixers. I'll be scouring the internet for Sixers rumors. So, but anyway, I think we're going to get ready to wrap up here, guys. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So listen. So hope you all enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed it, give us a like give us a like. Make sure you check out all the shows on Devereaux Sports. You got the soccer show tomorrow night, the Philly Union show, Attacking the Third with Gus and Austin. That comes on at 9:00. Check out all the shows on our sister network, the Out of Box Network as well. You have the Fight Club coming on tomorrow night at 10. The Cowboy show comes on, I believe, on Wednesday nights. And, Mike Lauro's The Locker Room on Thursdays at 8. Oh, and I got a shameless plug I got to pull. You know what? I almost forgot because we're talking about the NBA draft. Get ready for the NBA draft on Thursday night because the old school is coming back on Thursday night. Myself, my Uncle Mark, cousin Roger, we are going to do a special old school show. We're going to do it on the Dr. J era Sixers. Particularly the 82-83 championship season. So we're going to get all into the Sixers, get you pumped up for the NBA draft. We're going to get into the championship team. We're going to get into the We Owe You one. That's one of the reasons why I'm rocking this Dr. J shirt today, reminiscing. But, check us out on Thursday nights and get pumped for that draft because we're going to get all into that era. We're even going to kind of talk about what happened as because that 83 team was one of the best teams ever assembled. And we're going to kind of dive into, some of the reasons why they didn't win again. So, make sure you check us out. It's going to be really interesting. And like I said, check out all the shows on Devereaux Sports. Check out Edge of Philly Sports as well. Our man Al Safiri checking in. Check out their shows. Check out Patterson Avenue Fanatics from Dave Yarnell checking in. So check out all the shows and, keep it going, man. And everybody have a great week. Go Phillies, go Sixers, and